We do product reviews and also some tutorials. If you want to support the channel, guys, look in the description of the video and you can find one of the video courses, guys. 6-figure journeys, how you can make 6 figures, or how to resell internet hotspots with unlimited internet, guys. So go ahead, check out the links in my link tree. You're going to see video course. Click that. It's going to bring you to my link tree, and go ahead and get one of them or both. They're currently on sale. The sale ends this weekend. So normally the 6-figure journey is $100, but it's on sale for $50. And normally the how to sell hotspots is $150, but it's on sale for $50. And again, that sale will be ending soon. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I realized something today, guys. If you follow the channel, you know that my daughter injured her ACL on her right knee, on her left knee, about 9 months ago. So we went through that process, surgery and stuff like that. And she played basketball and softball, so she was cleared to go. It was a long road ahead. So about like 2 or 3 games, I want to say about 4 games into the season, she what's up, Josh? She tore her ACL and meniscus in her right knee. So she just had surgery on the 23rd, going through the rehab, had somewhat of a little setback or whatever. And currently, the last couple of days been doctor visits and therapy visits. So if you have kids, man, and they play sports, just know that that's part of it. But doing all of that, one of the things I realized is that I teach you guys a lot about how to save money or make money. I encourage you guys to start a small business, even if it's just a DBA, doing business as, if you don't want to do an LLC. But what happened whenever you were in this space and you just get overwhelmed, right? So I never really give you guys, in my opinion, give you guys tools how to handle that, because self-care is the best care. One of the things I always tell people, like some of you that's watching live or some of you that's watching on a replay, you probably are that go-to person in your family. You might be the breadwinner in that family. You might be like the spiritual anchor in that family. You just might be the organizer in the family, or the person that that get things done. But what happened when the helper or the backbone of the family? What happened when they become overwhelmed? And what methods or things you can do? The reason why I'm bringing that up is because whenever you become overwhelmed and whenever bad things just start happening, for example, I buried my uncle, I want to say it's going to be 3 weeks, almost a month ago. I buried my uncle, my dad, one of my dad brothers. Okay, I buried him about 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, my wife's sister passed away. You hear me now? Hopefully you guys can hear me. But for some reason, whenever somebody call me, it just, and I'm live, they throw the audio off. And I should use, I always say this, I should use my other phone, but I don't. So I don't know how much you guys heard, but what I was saying is that I lost a sister-in-law and an uncle within 4 weeks, the last month. And my dad was put in the hospital on Christmas Eve, spend the day in the hospital. My daughter just had her surgery and stuff. And Kind of had a setback, but like right now I'm outside. The therapist, they're checking out and stuff right there. But doctor visits and rehab and all of that, that's things we've been doing the last couple of days. So what happened whenever you're trying to earn money, you're trying to make better your immediate family lives, but you still want to be that reliable person? What happened when you need that break? And sometimes it feel like, oh my God, what's happening? What's going on? Everything is against me. I just wanted to share some of the things you might consider doing. Now, my faith tradition, we have prayer, but other people might have meditation in their faith tradition. I really needed to get to to the place these last couple of days. I needed to get to the place to where I started to have some deep reflections, because what happened is that we we stopped living life, right? And life start happening to us. I'm the chaplain for the local PD department. So if in the past, if somebody get murdered or somebody die unexpectedly or something like that, a car crash or something, they can call me and I help with the death notifications. I can pray with the family. If something is going on the force with an officer or something, he needs to confide in somebody, I can do that, counsel police officers and stuff like that that's going through things. Being a elder in the church, part of our job is to conduct funerals. Okay, and what happened is that you and then my profession is helping people in the community and dealing with some pretty big issues, pretty big problems, from a political aspect, right, and also a social service aspect, dealing with those problems in the community. So you're dealing with death, dealing with sickness, you're dealing with counseling, right? And you're dealing with community problems. So what begins to happen is that when things start happening to you in your personal life, you become desensitized to, I'm not going to say you become desensitized to emotions and feelings, but you become desensitized to another loss, right? So you might grieve, but you might not spend that much time as needed to grieve. So what happens when you are in a situation to when bad things are just happening, and it seems like you can't get ahead? That's going to impact your potential business. That's going to impact your family life. That's going to impact your health. That's going to impact your mentality, your outlook of life, and then life starts happening to you, and you stop living life. So back to what I was saying, in my faith tradition, we have prayers. Some other people, you might have meditation. I wanted to do this video. It's not about streaming. It's not so much about making money. It's not about NFTs. It's not about IPTV. It's about me giving suggestions to the viewers and the subscribers of what to do when you become overwhelmed. I tell you guys this all the time. As I learn, I share. As I experience things, I share it with you, right? So the main thing is, what do you do? This is what I want to tell you guys. Carve out 15 minutes to an hour a day just for yourself. And if you like me, you don't have that. If you like me, you really don't have that, because whenever you do have time to yourself, you're trying to get some sleep or you trying to make some more money, right? But carve out 15 minutes to an hour. Now I know what you're saying. That's a huge spread, Tech. 15 minutes to an hour. When you start, you want to start at about 15 minutes, right? So you can get a routine. What's up? What's up, Donald D. Nice? So you can get a routine. Now, for me, what I started doing is I usually wake up at about 6 in the morning. So I started waking up at like 5:30, 5:45. Okay, and go outside into my gazebo, take my medicine and stuff, reflect with prayers and meditation, and tell myself I'm going to win the day. I'm going to win the day. It sounds corny, right? I'm going to win a day. I'm going to be productive. One of my affirmations is that I will be wealthy. I will be healthy. My kids will be successful. That's one of my affirmations that I try to say every day, if not multiple times a day. And I go and I read my Bible, I say my prayers, and I reflect on the upcoming day. Starting your day off and the right mindset is everything. It's everything. Now this is gonna come across as a little preachy. This live right here gonna come across as a little preachy, but I'm encouraging you guys to do self health. All right. We just had Hurricane Ida. I'm still dealing with my insurance company, man, to try to get my roof fixed. Right. I'm trying to buy another house. Right. So it's like all of these things are happening, but if you start the day defeated, you're always gonna have a bad day because the mind is powerful. So when I said it's gonna sound a little preachy, here's the sermon. Whatever you believe, that's what's gonna happen. Now, it's not just saying you believe it. I'm talking about something that you truly, truly believe. If you believe that you're going to get denied for everything you apply for, then you're going to get denied for everything that you apply for. Why? Because you already got the defeated mindset, so you're going to apply for a few things, and you're not going to have the expectations, and voila, you stop applying. All right. If you believe you're going to be sick, eventually in your body, you're going to be sick. If you believe you can't accomplish the goals that you set out for yourself, then guess what? You're not going to accomplish those goals you set out for yourself. Your mind is your reality. Your mind is your reality. We create the world around us. I don't know, like, what else to tell people as it relates to creating the world around you, because in my faith tradition we say, as a man thinketh, so a man thinketh, so is he. Right. Start your day off with just setting aside, whether it's prayer, reflection, or meditation, 15 minutes and work your way up to an hour. Right. 15 minutes and work your way up to an hour. Just self-care, breathing, reflection, what you want to get done that day. um and I tell you, once you start doing that, then things in you begin to be unlocked. Right. Things start to unlock in you. You begin to think deeper. You begin to um reflect on where you've been, but have a positive outlook of where you're going just by taking that time out. And that's not many things we have control over in our lives. Like I mentioned, losing my sister-in-law a couple of weeks ago, losing my uncle about a week or two prior to her passing. Right. Having two funerals within a month. Dad gets sick, put in the hospital. Daughter needs surgery on her knee. Right. And then all of the financial responsibilities and stuff like that. And in our community, the anxiousness or the anxiety from the cases of COVID going up. Right. Having young kids, you want to be careful. They always want to be around their kids, but you want to protect them. But also they go around their grandparents, which is immune compromised. So having all of those anxieties, starting the day off right, can eliminate those fears. Because what happened with our mind is that we have so many fears that we never become successful. So when I say what in the world is going on, right, being overwhelmed, right, we have the tools, we have control over how we start our day. And if we start the day saying we're going to win the day, everything else is going to fall in place. Full disclosure, guys, this is a confession. I'm going to do it live. um I I I rarely say this in public. All right. I have said it before, but it's not something that I make a habit of doing. Here's the confession. On all of my business endeavors and on all of my ambitions and things that I'm doing, and things that I have failed at, and things I have been successful at in the future and successful at currently, guess what? Oftentimes I have no idea what I'm doing when I started. I literally I literally just walk out on faith and say, hey, look, I want to do this. And either what I told you guys, I do one of three things, right? I find what it's given, knowledge what it's given, right? Knowledge what it's learned, right? Trial and errors, and knowledge which is paid for, right? I literally do all three of those things. I find out whatever is free, right? I pay for information so I can learn it, okay? And then I implement it, trial and error. A lot of things I do, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's just getting to the point in myself to where I say, where I tell myself, hey, I'm not afraid to lose everything. I'm not afraid to lose this. I'm not afraid to lose that. In life, who else betting on you? I told it to one of my sons. He dropped out of school and stuff, and he don't know what he wanted to do or whatever. All right, cool. Got 3 kids in college. You want to drop out? Each one of my kids got a parent plus loan. I told him, all right, man, you're dropping out of school. I just, good afternoon, Uno. I just signed for $14,000 for you to go to school, and you dropping out your first semester. Like that's a very expensive way to find yourself, son. That's a very expensive way to find yourself. And what I tell my kids is that you just got to be passionate about something, right? You got to be obsessed with something. And I know people don't realize all the time is that there's a lot of sacrifices that individuals make. Sacrifices of putting up capital, right? Thank you, Miss Octavia. Thank you for the thumbs up. Putting up capital, right? Sleepless nights, okay? Going places and talking to people who don't look like you, don't speak like you, don't walk like you, don't dress like you, right? But just seeking information from them that can help you. And the hardest thing is getting out of your comfort zone. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed is that we get paralyzed with fear. We get paralyzed with fear, and now we overwhelmed, and now we can't be productive the next day. And I'm not the only person that find myself sometimes just overwhelmed and get deadlocked and get paralyzed and don't even want to get out the bed because you're too afraid of all the things that need to be done, and you know there's no way you can do these things, right? You know there's no way you can do these things. I say this in a couple of lives, like I need for the repair of my current home, right, and down payment of my other home. I'm like, man, I'm taking a bath on how will be like there better not be COVID in 20s. Taking a bath. I want to read that again. Let me see. Taking a bath and he would be like there better not be COVID in 20s. Um, but COVID 20. All right, COVID 19. I get it. But you get paralyzed and you like, there's no way I can do all of these things. And like me, I'm like, all right, bro. In order to get this other home and in order to repair this home and rent it out, I got to get a tenant, I got to get a lease. But if I get the lease, I got to make these repairs. The roof by itself is $13. That's other things you want to do. You want to go paint some walls and touch some things up, right? So you can rent it out faster and get the lease signed, okay? And then the down payment for my house is anywhere between $26,000 to $30,000. But there's 2 business ventures that I want to start, and not to mention we have 6 kids, still have 2 in college, 3 living at the house. Okay, the other one he's finding his way. So it's like you have all of these things going on. Overcome fear and don't let small stuff stop you. That you're exactly right, down to D nice. You got all these things going on, so you become paralyzed because you feel like I'm not good enough. I can't make it happen, right? There's too many things going on at once. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish these things. I'm telling you guys, trust me when I say this. When you take time out for yourself, preferably the morning, your first mindset, the first thing that should come to your mind is, in my faith tradition, is being thankful for another day, right? Thanking my maker, thanking God, thanking his son Jesus Christ for allowing me to wake up another day. Your faith tradition might lead you to something else, all right? But when I tell you, when you think you're going to win a day, even when you uncertain how you're going to do things, even when you're afraid, even when you're paralyzed with fear, even when people are dying around you, even when bad things are happening to people you love, if you are the rock of that family, then you need self-care, because it's just like when you ride on the plane. The first thing they tell you in the event of an emergency, when the air drop down, the air masses drop down, they say put your mask on first. What's up, Alexandra? Put your mask first. You can't help anyone else if you can't breathe. And I feel like a lot of us are out here trying to help people, right? Trying to help our immediate family, trying to help our friends and our loved ones, and we're not breathing. Yep, I wake up and give thanks for another day, and we're not breathing. We're not able to breathe ourselves, and that's why our anxiety is up. That's why our stress levels are up. That's why our businesses are struggling, because we're too scattered brains, right? And that's why we're not walking into new endeavors that can literally change our lives, because we're so overwhelmed. We're so scared of losing the little bit that we have, but yet we know we should be doing something else, but we don't know how to start. The secret is you never going to know when you start. The journey, fall in love with the process. The journey is learning as you go, finding out as much information as you could, but having a passion, becoming obsessed with something, right? I told you guys in 2021, my thing is to get one of my students or subscribers that listen to me. Too many don't want to do anything as well. You're right about that, D Nice. One of my subscribers and one of my students that listen to me, or people that watch me, is to get one of them to make six-figure plus, get a couple of them to make six-figure plus, and to get at least one, if not more, of my students or subscribers to get one, if not more, to say at the end of the year, think because of the tech, I now have a multi-million-dollar business. That's not far-fetched. Now I know what you're saying with tech. What's your personal finance goal? My personal finance goals is, I already said that I want to go from making six figures plus a year. So I want to start doing at the end of this year, I want to at least have 2 million in the bank profit. Now, how do you get there? You put a plan in place. Now, I'm not talking about, man, I wish this happened. Nah, I'm saying, hey, this is the goal. I want to triple my monthly income. All right. So what do I have to do? What products do I have? Then I got to push my products. All right. And I got to open up more businesses. Look, accumulation of money, numbers adds up whenever you have multiple lines of income. That's why wealthy people say you need 7 lines of income. I watched a guy the other day. He was like, hey, look, I got 9 lines of income. That's how you become wealthy, guys, by having multiple businesses or having multiple things making money for you. When you become overwhelmed, you neglect yourself of greatness. Because when you're overwhelmed, you can't function. A lot of people don't like talk like this, but some of your most successful superstars, some of your most successful actors, writers, music artists, or whatever, are addicted to heavy narcotics, or end up committing suicide, or spend some of them spend most of the time in and out of rehab centers. Why? Because everybody pulls from them, and most of them don't have time to where they could reflect on themselves, because everybody want them. That makes sense. As a father, I'm in high demand because I have my kids. I have 6 kids, 4 sons, 2 daughters, right? um at any given time, like right now with my daughter, going with her in her rehab process, at any given time my kids need me, so I got to make a decision. All right, my kid need me. All right, I have to step away from work, but my goals and my plans need me to be active. So sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know, I don't know how I'm going to accomplish everything, so I prioritize. Your priority starts with that morning meditation or that morning prayer, right? faith in my case, faith in my God, my faith tradition, faith in God, faith in Jesus, right? Love for my wife, okay, and love for my kids, and love for my immediate family, my outside family, love for my community, and of course my church. Why in that order? Why do I have God first, right? Then my wife, and then my kids? I tell my wife this all the time. It's not uncommon for husbands and wives to disagree, especially when it relates to like disciplining the kids or something the kids won't. Okay, if you're married, you know what I'm talking about. You don't even have to be married. You can just have a kid with somebody and realize there's going to be disagreements. I tell my wife this all the time: is that I love my kids. I'm investing into my kids. You know my story. My first wife left. I had 3 sons with my first wife. My first wife left, and I basically raised my sons for the next 3 4 years by myself until me and my current wife got together and got married. Okay, so my kids are everything to me. Family is everything to me. I love my kids to death. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my kids. But kids grow up and they leave the home, and then you're stuck with your spouse. So if you spend your years, if you spend the years when your kids are supposed to be learning and growing, you're supposed to be disciplining them and guiding them. If you spend your years in investing on the intimacy in your kids and not into your partner, into your spouse, when your kids leave, then there will be nothing in their marriage and their relationship to hold you because now the kids are gone. That's why I always tell people I would never put my kids over my wife because my kids are gonna leave out one day and they're going to find their own life. All right, I would never put my kids over my wife. That's me personally. So when I become overwhelmed, man, I just reflect on the things I want to do and I prioritize. So I already know, like at the beginning of the day, I already know family is important. I already know my kids is important. Money's gonna be there. Business opportunity is gonna be there. So I invest that time with my family. Not not always as gleeful as I should, not always as joyful as I should. It's more like a duty. Have you guys ever seen that movie with Will Smith? What's the name of it? 7 Pounds or something like that. Um, if you watch that movie with Will Smith, then notice something in that movie. He- Internally, he was hurting, and he was. And spoiler alert, by the way, he was filtering out people that needed uh body parts, organs, right, to survive. Like somebody might needed a kidney or a liver or whatever. So he was scouting them out, right, to see if they was worthy. And apparently he was an organ donor. Fast forward to the end of the video, he ended up killing himself, and his organs went to those individuals or whatever that he sought out. Sometimes that can be us. Sometimes we can feel like we're giving pursuit of happiness, right, movie. Sometimes we this wasn't pursuit of happiness. This was like 7 pounds. This is like whenever at the end he get in the tub with this daily eel or whatever. Like he basically killed himself. I don't know if it's an eel or a fish or something, but he basically killed himself. But during the movie, he basically scout people out that he's going to give his body parts to, all right, or his organs to, so they can live. Sometimes we can feel like you crazy. You can love your wife, but your kids are your blood and will always be there for you or you for them. Your wife can't walk out on you, and your kids are still your kids. They love. So let me finish talking about 6 pounds, and I'm going to address that. Okay, I mean 7 pounds. So in that movie, he ended up scouting these people out, killing himself, and giving, and his organs went to them. Sometimes in life, man, and I'm only talking to people that find themselves getting overwhelmed, find themselves giving themselves to other people, and not taking time out to reflect or, or have self-help for yourself. Sometimes in life, we give away vital organs that we need. We can't live without our livers and kidneys and all of that if we give all of that away, right? Or we can live a life that is crippling or debilitating Because if I give you one of my kidneys, yeah, I got another kidney, but I can't function as I once functioned. My body can't function on a high level as it once functioned. It's still functioning, but it's lacking, right? A lot of times we give people valuable things in us that cause us not to function on a high level because we give ourselves away. We give ourselves away. And what I'm saying is that as individuals, a lot of times we have to step back, start the day, take time for ourselves, have affirmations, have reflections, have prayer to steady ourselves, to say we're going to win the day, and to reassure ourselves that when we walk outside of our homes, yes, we have good intentions to help other people, but we're not giving ourselves away because in those reflections, in those meditations, in those prayers, right, in those affirmations, what we're doing is we're building ourselves up, we're building up our faith, right? And we're ready to conquer whatever because we restore ourselves. We can't help other people. I can't give you a vital part of myself. Here's an example. In my case, time is everything. I always tell you guys, don't exchange time for money because you can never, time is priceless. You can never get time back, right? So exchange goods for services, right? I'm a firm believer is if I give you my patience, if I give you my time, now what do I have? Because I didn't give you all vision something and it happens. If I give you something like my patience or my time, then when I need patience for myself, when I need to be patient with myself, when I need time for myself, I'm too tired because I didn't give all of my time away. Like, I don't know the last time I went fishing. That used to be one of my favorite hobbies. Last time I drew something, drawing used to be a hobby. I'm too busy. I done give all of my time away, right? And so now I'm not living life. I'm not living life or in a way in which I could truly manifest my greatness because I'm giving pieces of myself away and I'm literally crippling myself and I'm living in a in how can I put it? I'm living in a subpar I'm living a subpar life. Let's say that I'm living a subpar life because I'm not reaching my true potential because I give my patience away. I give my time away. I give my intellectual property away sometimes, knowingly or not knowingly. And then somebody take that idea and they go profit all of it. And I got all this time and investment and conversation with this person. And then they take my idea, they take my goal. Sometimes they talk about you. Sometimes they ridicule you. Sometimes they put you down when you're the one that put them on game. So now you're hurting, now you're limping into the day because you're hurt. You don't have time. You don't have patience because you give all of it away. I'm simply telling you guys. I'm simply offering a suggestion that you start the day off with meditation, prayer. I get it. Me too. Take my life on hold. See, that's what I live my life on. So that's when you really got to ask yourself. At the end of the day, if you were to die right now today, at the end of the day, if you were to die right now today, what did you really accomplish? Right? That's why I said, that's why I did a TikTok a couple of weeks ago. The place that holds all the treasures in the world is the graveyard. How many business ideas that people took to their grave? How many cures to diseases people probably took to their grave, right? Like how many motivational speeches, how much knowledge is just in the grave that people didn't act upon because they was paralyzed with fear because they spend all of their time giving themselves away and never took time out for themselves and never walked out on faith and betted on themselves. You got to bet on yourself, man. Invest in yourself. No one, like, I know sometimes people get tired whenever I'm pushing my products, but you are your best promoter. Who else is going to promote you if you don't promote yourself? If you don't believe in yourself, who else will believe in you? So when you get overwhelmed, it's telling me two things. A, you're not taking time out for yourself. We can't blame people for taking the good parts of us because guess what? If we're walking in the forest and we're hungry and we see a tree with beautiful fruits on it, right? And it smell good and it look good. We're going to grab the fruit and we're going to bite the fruit and we're going to keep eating the fruit until we're full. So if you're walking around, if you're this fruitful person, right, that's producing, that's productive, right? If you're productive, then you're going to be fruitful. People are going to see things happening. They're going to be like, well, how you did that, or how you fill out that paperwork, or how you started that business, and now you're taking all of your time out. And then what happened is we over obligate ourselves, right? And then we got personal obligations, professional obligations. But when do we stop giving away our vital functions to other people? When do we start taking out stuff from us? When do we start taking our our peace, our health, our stability, and start handing it over to other people to make them whole? We got to stop that. You can help people without giving away the things that make you whole. When you hit old and retired time, when you hit old and retired time. So literally one of the root causes of us not investing in ourselves is because we give ourselves away. We give ourselves away. So let me go back to the wife and kids thing. Let me tell you why I place my wife above my kids. You make a very educated um you make a very educated point, right? You base the point based on reality, right? Based on current realities to where if you look at statistics, guess what? You only get old. You look at statistics, you see that in America, I want to say the last statistics that I seen that over half the matches doesn't last in America. Remember when I first started off, I said you had to create your own reality, right? So you can't go into reality of other people. Remember what I said, my faith tradition. Now, the way my faith, and this coming from a person that is divorced, the way my faith tradition teaches me is that once you're married, there's no such thing as divorce. There's no way out. What we're taught is that when divorce is brought up in the Bible, it's brought up and God allowed Moses to write like a bill of divorce because the hardness of the people's heart. All right. And my faith tradition, there's only two ways out of a marriage: abandonment and divorce. I mean, abandonment and adultery, right? So if somebody cheat, then you can get out of that marriage, or if somebody leave the marriage, right, you can get out of that marriage. Okay, so that's my faith tradition. That's what we believe. So when you marry someone, you intend, at least in my faith tradition, you intend to be with them for the rest of your life. Let me tell you why I place my wife above my kids, using my rationality, my rationale. My kids will always be my kids. They're going to be my bloodline. Now, notice I never said I didn't love my kids, because I preface it by saying I love my kids. I do whatever I want for my kids. But when it come down, when it's a decision to be made between my kids and my wife, let's say, for example, my son need $100 on to pay his rent, but my wife need $100 to let's say she got a piece that she needed on her car. All right, I have seen people that would say, "Well, babe, we're gonna wait to get your car fixed, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the kid car fixed." We have done things like that, put stuff on hold for the kids. Uh, nothing wrong with that, as long as it's a mutual decision. But what happened whenever the wife say, "All right, I need this," and one of the kids say, "I need that," and you only could be one place, or you only can pay one thing. To me, it's going to my wife each and every time, because that's my wife. All right, I have a covenant before God that I swore that I would take care and provide for her. Okay, with my kids, and again, if you are a loving, kind parent, then you have the ability to use your rationale to say, "Oh, my wife needs $100 because she's going out with the girls, but my son needs this to stay in this an apartment." All right, if my wife said she wanted the $100, I'm not going to put her going out to eat with her girls over somewhere one of our kids need a place to stay. Nah, that's going to be a conversation. Be like, look, babe, I know this or whatever. But stuff like that, yeah, the kids take priority, at least in my house. That's conversation with you and your wife. But When it come down to where both have a need, my wife gets it first. My wife gets it first. Yeah, a woman could leave you. Yes, your kids is your blood or whatever. Here's what I tell people: you never was truly in love with somebody. You how can I put it? I'm not gonna say you're not truly in love with somebody. No, let me put it to you like this. I don't think you can love somebody you don't trust, right? Because if your rationale is that your wife can leave you at any time, but your kids will always be there. That's not true. My wife is a nurse. She works in administration. She signed people every day up. She signed people up every day into the nursing home because the kids can't take care of them. Every day she put people into the nursing home because the kids too busy living their lives, and one or two things happen: either the other spouse has already passed, right, or the other spouse is not capable of taking care of their wife. But the kids don't look. The majority of the time, and I know we live in a fantasy world, but the majority of the time, the kids gonna live their life. And as a parent, you should want your kids to live their life. At the end of the day, it's just going to be you and your wife if you are truly in love, right? And if you have a relationship, a loving relationship with your kids, and your kids are going to understand it. Like I tell my kids this all the time. Like I'm not going. Like if my wife tell them to do something and then they come behind my back and try to, I'm not going against my wife for you. That's my wife. You're my child. You're going to go and live your life, and then I'm with this woman. It should be for the rest of the days on earth. And again, I'm a firm believer. If you freaking made all of these, uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Concessions for the kids over all of those years, and you guys put the kids first, and you guys never reinvested into your marriage. When the kids go off to live their lives, I'm a prime example. I seen my son my oldest son, which Donna Bogan the third, right? My son probably called me like probably like 3 or 4 times a month. My daughter called my wife every night, just about. All right, but guys, you have different bonds. I seen my son probably last year. I probably seen my son four or five times last year. He lived right down Mississippi, 2.5 hour drive away. All right, 2.5, 3 hour drive away. All right, seen him 4 times. He's been living in Mississippi for about 2 or 3 years now. My daughter, this past year, we probably seen her about the same, about 3 or 4 times. Uh, either at the funeral or a holiday. Other than that, those kids don't come home. Your kids don't come. The one that dropped out of school, and he say he just want to work for right now. He just left the house. He got a job opportunity out there in Mississippi with his brother. He's going to work. My philosophy is he's doing two things in my house. You going to work or you going to school. That's just how I was raised. All right. So at the end of the day, me, my faith tradition teaches me I have to cover my wife. If you are a loving, kind parent, then of course, any parent should go without some of the things they want, and at times some of the things they need to provide for their kids. But if it's absolutely a case where it's just something to where I absolutely have to choose between my kids and my wife, I'm choosing my wife. I'm choosing my wife. That don't mean I love my kids any less, because a decision got to be made. And that brings me to another point. Let's bring me to another point about being overwhelmed, self-help, and stuff like that. A failure to make a decision is making a decision. I'm gonna say that again. When you fail to make a decision, you're making a decision. What I mean by that, as you with the wife and the kids, for example, something going on, and it's a hard choice, it's a hard decision. As a leader, it's your job to make decisions. If you want to be a business owner, you're gonna have to make decisions. You look, every decision you make will not make people happy, but if you got a good heart, you're doing it for the greater good. It's up for you to decide what the greater good might be. But if you got a good heart, you're doing it for the greater good. If you refuse to make a decision and just let things happen, you just made a decision. You made a decision to do nothing. So you made a decision to put in somebody else's hand. And just like if you got a bill and you know you ain't got the money, but you don't want to call the people because you don't want the people to make you feel bad because you ain't got the money, so you decide to do nothing, then what happened? The people come take whatever or cut off whatever, when you could at least made a chance and say, look, I don't have it. I don't know when I have the money. When I'm going to have the money, can I get an extension? Right? Or instead of spending the whole day or 2 days or the whole week or whatever worrying about how you're going to pay it, spend that time, that hour, that day, that week, that month, spend that time figuring out how can I pay it? What can I do? What can I sell? What can I liquidate? Right? That is how we change our mindset. So again, back to the kids and the wife. In my faith tradition, my wife would always come first because it's supposed to be forever. And if I'm concerned about how, which is, I'm telling, it happened to me already. It happened to me already. If a person decided to walk out on you, in my case, it was just me and my sons at the time, so it was just me and my kids. But when I'm married, my intentions were never to get divorced. And so, even though I love my kids, I do whatever I can for my kids. I will never put my kids above my wife. Have there been times to where every day when we get home, let me phrase this right. Whoever get home first, that's who start the food. Just so happen the way that my day is organized. A lot of times, unless I'm out of town, a lot of times I'm home first, so I start cooking for the kids. I might not cook food for my wife because my wife sometimes eat different things. Same thing with her. She come home, she'll start cooking for the kids. She might not fix something for me because, you know, sometimes I eat different things. She might ask me what I'm eating. I ask her where she's eating or whatever. I'm at the store to get her something. But the priority is to make sure that the kids are fed and they're ready for school the next day. So it's not in the case to where, oh, when we sit down to eat, my wife got to bring me my plate first, or one of those things, that type of hierarchy. But when it's a pressing decision, and it truly is a difficult decision or difficult choice between doing something for my wife or doing something for one of my kids, my wife take priority. Point blank, simple. Point blank, simple. That don't mean that because I don't do that particular act for my child, that doesn't mean I love my child in a lesser. I spend 365 days of the year providing and sheltering and making sure that my kids have. You know, I'm supposed to be in a conference right now, but all of this came up with my daughter and her knee. All right, she needed me to be here. All right, I could be missing out on all of that money right now, but my daughter needed me to be here. So it can be overwhelming. Now, how does this tie in with business endeavors? How does this tie in with streaming? How does this tie in with being successful in 2022? I'm telling you guys, man, for those that came on this live, I'm telling you guys, if you don't if you don't put it in your mind you're going to be successful, you're not going to be successful. If you're walking around here a half a person because you don't give all of the good parts of yourself away, you're not going to be successful. Remember, life is a competition. We're competing against each other. We're competing. I take it back. Because some people say, the only person I'm competing against is myself. All right. So I'm not going to say you're competing against everybody to be the better you, but you're absolutely competing against people in certain spaces to earn income. Absolutely. All right. You might not be competing against other people to be the best you, the best version of you, but you absolutely competed against other people in certain niches, right, to earn income. And guess what? If you are not a whole person because you've been giving yourself away all of this time and you're not making time for yourself, if you're not a complete person, spiritual, mentally, and physically, then you're playing the game with one hand tied behind your back, because everybody that comes to this space, they're bringing their best. People that are multi-millionaires, right? They bring their best. They make sacrifices. They invest in themselves. All right. Before you see them riding on a yacht, they were sleeping on the float somewhere, right? 2 or 3 hours a night, all right, getting sleep and back at it the next day, because they wanted whatever vision they had in their mind. They wanted the thing to manifest within the physical realm, and so they became obsessed with it, and that's what they did day in and day out, and they temporarily cut off relationships from people, temporarily stopped going places with people, temporarily start indulging in things that made them feel good, and they just focus for a period of time in their lives. They just focus on what they wanted to manifest, and then after it manifested, right? Now they have more time. Now they can do more things. Now they're becoming more complete because they're investing within themselves to be a whole person. We out here competing with whole people, and we're missing valuable things in our lives. So now we overwhelmed, and now we're looking at everything we got to do, and then we're looking at the resources and say, I can't do it because I don't have enough resources. Now we find ourselves in a predicament to like, war's me. But the only thing you got to do is just take time out for yourself, whether it's prayer, reflection, meditation, affirmations or whatever. Just start off 15 minutes, work your way up to an hour a day. Get up a little earlier, go to sleep a little later. Just take time out for you. And I prefer the morning because you literally start to speak the things you want to happen in your day, the things you want to accomplish in your day. You focus your mind, you set your mind to winning that day. And not everything is going to happen that you want, but what happened is the majority of the things you set out to do is going to get done, because you started off with that mindset. And it can be small things. It can be something as simple as I need to change this cabinet door. I need to put this door frame up. Whatever it is, man. Start off winning the day. I know I came on here and I give you guys a lot to think about or whatever, but if we're going to be truly successful in 2022, we got to be complete beings. We got to be holistic beings. You can't have a creative mind, because that's how we make money, right? We use our creativity. We think of things, we think of solutions to problems that other people have, and we offer answers to those problems for monetary gains. So that take creativity. We can't be creative if we always worry, right? We can't invest into our personal endeavors, into our business endeavors, if we always doing things for other people. Yes, the sale is still on. The sale is still on. So the sale is ending tomorrow, Friday. Uh, the sale is going to end either tomorrow or Saturday. And what he's talking about, if you look in the description of the video, my six-figure journey course, how you can make six figures, right? I show you how to make six figures. We start off talking about credit, how to repair your credit and stuff. If you don't want to go that route, I show you how I'm making money currently and how I'm looking to make money. I'll show you how you can get certified by Google, and literally within a day or less, and depending on your certification, and then go ahead and get people to pay you for that certification by providing services. Show you how to do all of that and six-figure journeys. And it's just giving you different lines of income. And how to sell hotspots. I basically break down the three methods of how we transition to sell our hotspots, and using the three towers: Sprint or T-Mobile tower, Verizon towers, AT&T towers. How you can provide services to people like that, and how some of my students have made tons and thousands of dollars a month using that. So initially it's 150 for the hotspot course. That's on sale for $50. It's $100 for the six-figure journey course. That's on sale for $50. In the description of the video, you're going to see video course. You click on that. It's going to be a link tree. And when you click on that link tree, you're going to see both courses. What a lot of people that's been buying it since it's been on sale, they've just been getting both, right? They've just been getting both because it's like, hey, look, just never put up $100 2 for 1. So that's going to be on sale until probably Friday, tomorrow or Saturday. So Can you buy the T-Mobile home internet from the store? My my video course doesn't talk about the T-Mobile home internet. Depends where you live. The T-Mobile home internet is something that some people can utilize. The last time I checked on it, it was only in certain markets, right? The last time I checked on it, it was only in certain markets. So the people I cater to usually with the hotspot of internet is usually people that don't have the opportunity or don't have the option to get internet into their homes. All right. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. Look, once again, look, I know I said a bunch, but in 2022, if you don't remember anything else from this live, when you get overwhelmed, that just means that you gotta sit back, you gotta center yourself, you gotta take time out for yourself, and you got to really change your mindset. And I'm telling you, man, if you find yourself being around toxic people, if you find yourself giving yourself away, you will never be successful. In order to be successful, you have to be a whole person. And if you're giving your time, all of your time, if you're giving all of your patience, if you're giving all of your ideals and all of your energy to other people to complete them, and then you blame them because you're not a whole person, I don't I don't see how you could blame them. They're only going to do what you allow them to do. And you don't gotta be a butthole about it. It's like I brought my mom a DNA kit for Christmas, right? Cause she always be talking about she don't know where she's from, where her people from, and all of that. So I brought my mom a DNA kit for Christmas, okay? So my mom called me. She's like, I don't know how to do it. Come help me out, whatever, whatever. She called me 2 days in a row. Now that's my mom, and I usually jump whenever my mom and my dad ask me to do things, but I literally was doing stuff that was gonna benefit me financially, spiritually, and mentally. All right. So, mom, I get over there when I get a chance. I can't give you this time right here that I'm taking for myself because eventually it might not be at the end of the day, it might not be at the end of the week, it might not be at the end of the month, but 3 months from now, 5 months from now, a year from now, I've been to give away all of my time that I should have been investing in something else, and now I'm mad at myself because I didn't accomplish the things I set out to accomplish because I give away all of my patience. I give away all of my time. I give away all of my ideas, right? You ever just you try to help somebody and you spend hours and hours talking to somebody for free. And so when I started my consulting business and now people say that they gotta pay me for my time, they're a little taken back. And I'm like, whoa, what you taking back for? My time is priceless. The information I'm giving you to help you make money, to help you become a whole person, right? The information I'm giving you, I'm taking away from me. I'm taking away from me. So start your day off with prayer, meditation, whatever your faith tradition is, uh, affirmations and stuff. Convince yourself that you can do it. Remember, as you think it, so are you. Your mind is your reality. What you believe, what you think is what you're going to be. What you're going to be. I accomplished so much. I tell people I come from sleeping on the floors with the roach and the lights in the jailhouse, right? Literally fighting for my life, right? In the court system for something that I was accused of, for something that I didn't do, potentially can have life in jail, right? I come from there to sitting in rooms with governors and lawmakers and uh you know help make decisions for millions and billions of dollars for my state. And whenever we do federal things, federal programs to help the country, I just worked with with the Kellogg's Foundation when they paid me $7,000 just to advise them on how to spend, their money, how to come up with a grant and how to spend a grant, right? So these things, guys, In my opinion, these things are valuable lessons you should be learning as I speak right now. Is that your time is worth something, and if you're making other people whole, right? If you're making other people whole and you're not, why? Why? You can't help. You can't. You truly can't help other people. Join the falsely accused club, sir. I did a small bid for what my brother did. Wow, man, and that's crazy too. People don't realize that. I want to say that somewhere between 20 to 30% of people that's incarcerated are innocent. You know, people really don't believe that, but 20 to 30% of people that's incarcerated is innocent. I always say this. This is my philosophy. Some people don't agree with it. I'd rather let a guilty man go free than locking up an innocent man. That's my philosophy, man. I'd rather let a guilty man go free because guess what? The mentality of a guilty person, if they think they got away with it one time, they're gonna do it again. Eventually, they're gonna get caught. You know, but I rather let a guilty man go free than to take the freedom of an innocent man. That's just my philosophy. But there you go, guys. Look, go ahead, look in the description of the video. I didn't got on here and ran it long enough. And go ahead and invest in yourself. Get one of the video courses. They on sale, $50 each. 6-figure journeys and how to buy hotspots. This is your boy taking the badge until next time. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care of yourself, guys.